Hello and welcome to Dubai Trains. And today I want to talk about the size and scale of my layout. And what do I mean by that? I mean not that it's 4.5 by 2.5 meters and that it's HO scale, but I mean that when I built the room seemed small, and then when I put this layout in it, it seemed a little bit bigger. And now that I'm adding slowly, just some props and some space holders, as you see here, that the whole layout seems bigger again. And I also noticed that quite a few viewers were asking which scale I'm modeling in. So that tells me as well that it's not really clear which size and scale the layout is. So what I did to make it a bit more clear, and we're going to go over the entire layout in this format, is I put a train here, I put some cars. See who we are at the yard. We have a caboose track, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 yard tracks, an arrival departure track, and a runaround, which also leads to a few more industries. Hit that in a minute. And here the engine facility. So you see the tracks 1, 2, 3, 4. One of them has a small RIP parent place section. This was original a steam facility, so everything is there for steam. And then later they add this fueling platform right here. It's switching layout, so I'm going to be running small engines, something like this. Here I have a watering tower, and then here is the icing platform, and yeah, the boost track right here. And all these tracks narrow down to one single track that eventually heads up to a interchange yard that's modeled with the 2 staging tracks. There's another industry right here, and I put here the standard pre-built Walters Mainline water tower, and this gives a bit of an idea of how big it's all going to be. So that's this section. Let me move on. Let me restack and replace the cars in Neo North section. And here we arrive at Neo North. And Neo North, just to explain a little bit what we're looking at, it's the section where you enter in from the lift gate, and it's all the way from here to way over there. The bridge is included, and it ends just right here. But for this segment of the video, let's just discuss it up to the bridge. Now, these red surfaces are all Rail Served Industries, and this is a very industrial downtown area. So think that all these red buildings are going to be, put it here, about 5 stories tall. So I added some buildings I had left over. These are not going to be the final buildings. This one right here, just to give an idea what kind of scale we're looking at. So if I just swing over to the side, maybe have a look down the alley or the track plan. So you can really see how this is coming together. And then, for example, you have one train right here that's passing through. There might be another one on this track coming in the towards us. Some cars right here, off spot or waiting to be cleaned. Some industries there, some industries there. So this is really already, just by placing a few cars, a very hustling and bustling, busy section. And that's how I want it to be. Of course, we need way more cars, but I didn't want to unpack everything just for this little preview, let's say. And then, yeah, here's just a truck. The roads are all measured. Most of them are standard 2-lane. And the sidewalk is measured. And in some areas in a different color, we have here places for parallel parking. That's measured as well. And some open area. Here is your standard Moonland Scenics, was it Barrel Factory? Was it say Clyde and Dale's Barrel Factory? So if you have that, it gives you an idea of the the size that we're looking at right here. So that was up to the expressway. Let's have a look here. So this section, I just wanted to take a pause at this area right here because there's a lot happening. Yeah, again, the buildings are not the final buildings. I mean, I had this one laying around, so I put this one here for the coal trestle. These commercial buildings have to be 3 stories high, so these are not the final ones. That's a power plant, but it's a bit weird there. But it gives you an idea of some tall structures. Then we got this great ABR Model Works building right there. It's actually something similar is going to be here, but just bigger. Just need to extend it by like a unit and a half. and another small section just right there. And it's also not deep enough for here. As you see, I can put my hand behind it. But anyways, that building, but just bigger, is going to look dynamite. And just go a little bit down the ground level. Don't really know what to do here under the viaduct. I think I don't know, maybe just have some broken cars there and some trash and just make it a bit grimy. Or maybe I'll make it a full-on parking lot. Here we have a nice structure. This is a freight house, just at the edge of the layout right here. So it actually has spots, has 8 spots to parallel park 8 cars. So I think that's really a great scene. It's on the road as well, so there's a little bit of semi-street running there. Put it like that. And then here, this yellow block is a derail. This connects to the Milwaukee Railroad, but on my layout, it just goes into staging for, what is it? I think 9 cars or something like that, or 10. So it's a whole string that just shoves there behind the buildings. And again, here you can see how the layout can operate. So we're just doing a little switching here where we're spotting this gondola in here. And this track will just uncouple the caboose while this maneuver is happening. And in the meantime, another train can pass by on this track. Or if it needs to take this double slip crossover, but then of course that caboose is in the wrong spot. And then going through the commercial section, we go on to the brewery, and this, as you can see on the floor plan, is going to be one giant structure. So we have some grain silos here, grain offloading facility, we have bridge crossing the road, then we have another random structure, then we have the shipping division. In the shipping division, I had this mock-up laying around, but it's almost twice as big because it goes all the way from here to the end of the tracks here. I mean, the building is going to extend, I think, full width from right to left. It doesn't have to be the same style of building. You can have a building here and then have another little offset, maybe different brickwork or something like that over there. So I think what will be great is that once finished and you see the layout, if I just go back, then you have this whole layout here. How far can we go back? Ooh, this keeps on going. And then it's going to be a massive industry just there in the back, being the brewery. There's another 8-seater over here, so we have a row of 4 and then a double width right there. This little oil offloading facility here for the power plant for the brewery again. And then here we go into the water wharf / car float scene. I'm probably showing you an image right now, something that I have in mind. It's open, there's some structures, it's very industrial, a bit grimy, and that's what we're trying to replicate here. And the floor plan is just a suggestion. So if this building can go here and here, but maybe if I put it here, it just seems better. But the main point is that there needs to be some structures here, because of course you have an office for the float operations, then maybe a little office for the crew. This track right here is in this different brownish color. It's team track. And this second track right here, a lot of the time is going to have a whole string of cars on it. Because when you offload the car float, you have a place to park the cars that are on the float somewhere else before you put the new cars back on the float. So you need some separate trackage for that, and that's what this is all about right here. And here's another nice scene where I'm planning 3 girder bridges. And I hope this gave a bit of a sense of scale. At least it does for me. I mean, like I said, every time I add something to the layout, it just seems, frankly, to get bigger and bigger, which is not a bad thing. It's a good problem to have. So the next video I'm going to work on is a special on the liftgate. That's something that's in progress. And behind the scenes, I think I'm going to start laying track and figuring out the wiring. Just going to use my go-to method for all that. But I just want to get started, and then I'll explain it to you guys how it works and what I'm doing. So thank you guys all for watching. That's it for today. Bye-bye. This video was made possible by ABR Model Works, providing kits and accessories for all model railroaders. Looking to support the model railroading community? Check out the Dubai Trains Patreon page